Hello everyone, I'm back again today with another Phasmophobia. This time I'm going to walk through like the equipment and how to play the game a bit more in detail. So my last game, I kind of went through a few bits, but I didn't go through everything. So this is the loading screen. So as you can see, I'm currently level 52. How many dollars I've got, which you need in order to buy any equipment. And then you'll have your loading screen. When you first start playing Phas, you do have to start with a training session. This will basically teach you how to use all the equipment. It will teach you a walkthrough of the properties. It will give you the maps. It will start you off basically. So if I click play, it will always come up with the lobby. So you can play online like this with many different people online. I'm personally not going to do that. You can create public, private servers. If you create a public server, anyone can join. These are the amount of people that are playing at the moment. You can also join people in other games if you've got friends that are playing. And these are all the different areas of the world that you can be on, depending on what server you want to be on. So I'm going to create a private lobby. You'll then get onto this screen. So in the top left, you've got contract, no contract selected. So you'll change that at the bottom here. This is my character, I'm going to change it. You can have many different people. I personally like to pick this lady here. You'll get an invite code at the bottom. You can copy and paste that wherever you need to if you're on a Discord call. And I'm currently not ready on the loading screen. So we're going to select the job first. So I'm going to pick Tanglewood again. So we've got Grafton Farmhouse and Brownstone High School. The high school is very difficult, so I'm not going to do that on my own. The Grafton Farmhouse, as you can see, if you click on any of the options, so if I was to click on Brownstone High School, it says it's a medium map. You'll ideally need sanity pills because the ghost drains your sanity a lot on this map, and it will tell you the recommended team size. It will basically give you a rundown of the property. So each property, so say for instance I'm going to pick Tanglewood. It says Tanglewood Street House. It says a small 3-bedroom single floor house with a basement. We have recently received information about a possible haunting at this location. This one sounds dangerous, so you'll have to be careful with this one. Gather evidence and leave as soon as you can. More information when you arrive. So this will basically just give you an idea of what size map it is. Again, this is a small map, doesn't require any items in particular, and you can have just one person play it. At the top here, the difficulty, so amateur, you get 5 minutes for before the ghost is even able to hunt you. So when a ghost hunts you, you either have to outrun the ghost and run away and don't look back on yourself, or you have to hide. If you hide, sometimes if you can get it to glitch, you can come out of the property. With intermediate, you have 2 or 2.5 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's 2.5 minutes. I'll check soon. In order for you to go and place your equipment before the ghost can hunt you. On professional, you have no minutes at all. You go straight in and the ghost can hunt you if it really wants to on day one basically. When you get hunted, usually it's your sanity would have to be below a certain percentage before they can hunt. Every ghost is different. I'll have to do a bit more research into which ghosts like whichever sanity, and then I'll do another video relating to that. So I'm going to click on amateur just so I can have the 5 minutes to kind of go through all the equipment with everyone and just see how everything works. So I'm going to select this map. So at the top there you'll see it says Tanglewood Street House at the top and amateur. Here we have the equipment list. This is the bog standard equipment that you will get in any single game. You will get an EMF reader, a flashlight, a photo camera, UV light, video camera, spirit box and ghost writing book. So I will be adding more equipment in. Don't look at my equipment list because honestly I've got so much more equipment than what's needed. The majority of it is purely because I knew that I would then go and describe every equipment to you guys. So here we go, we've got one of every single piece of equipment that you would need. I'll go through it more. I'm going to ready up and I'm going to start, and I'll go through it more as I go along now. I'll go through a lot of like the equipment and stuff like that you can find in the property as well. I think I might do that one first just so that nothing gets confused. And while I'm still on my grace period. So here you go, look on the top left here, 5 minutes will start as soon as I get into the property. So I'm going to take the key. You always take the key in every game. I'm not going to look at any of that just yet. I'm literally going to pick up my torch and I'm going to go and find the ghost. So I'm literally just going to take the torch and the camera. Yeah. go and try to find the bone and the Ouija board. So the bone you use, you take a photo of if you can, and you pick up. Again, I need to go and look through all my bindings. So there's nothing in here at the moment. I'm not actually sure where the Ouija board could potentially spawn on this particular map. I'm not sure if it's got maybe a particular area it could spawn in. So I'm just going to go around. I'm actually going to leave most of the doors open actually, because it's just going to waste time otherwise. So I'm looking along the floor for the bone and the Ouija board. It has been known to be on like surfaces as well. I am just going to take the car key as well, just in case the ghost likes to set the car off, like the car alarms. You can then just turn it off straight away. So I think I did hear a door somewhere else, but I'm not going to pay much attention to that just yet. So I'm looking on all the floors. I'm not seeing anything currently. Going to here. Sometimes they can be glitched. Ah, here we go. Right, so this is the bone. So every time you see the bone, take a photo of it and just, if you can, pick it up. So I'm going to go and look for the Ouija board now. I did hear a door go again, but I'm not going to pay much attention to that. So have a look over here, around the back of the table. Oh, well, at least I know where the ghost could potentially be hiding. So I'm going to go into the basement. I don't really like the basement. Basements are scary. And I'm just going to have a look around on the floors. The Ouija board doesn't always spawn, I don't think. I think there's a certain percentage of that it might not spawn, but it could also be in the garage, so I'm going to check the garage. Although the ghost, I think, is probably in there. There's nothing on the floor here. Here it is. Right, so. Where is he? Ah. Like I said, they can set the doors off. So I'm just going to take the Ouija board out with me. Don't need to touch anything. Don't need to touch any doors. Just take the Ouija board out with me. At least I know where the ghost is, so I can go and set everything up after. And I can take some crucifixes in and stuff like that. So I'm going to lay this down on the floor here. So this here is the Ouija board. This might not always spawn, but the majority of the time it will. If you click on it when you've got something in your hand, it will light up like this. So it will, yeah, so it'll light up like that. And then if you pick it up without anything in your hand and throw it in, you can then use the board. So if I go in and go, where are you? So that is a failed question. So the Ouija board has a 33% chance of ending any, like your 5-minute grace period, your 2-minute grace period. It has a 33% chance of ending that immediately. So that means that the ghost can hunt you pretty much straight after you've used it. And you'll know that it's been unsuccessful because the Ouija board will turn itself off. So the lights, it will not be illuminated anymore. So successful answers towards a demon will not lower your sanity. So there is a 33% chance with any ghost that it will completely end your 5-minute period. However, with a demon, if you have a successful answer, so that it will just move for you, it won't lower your sanity. However, if you have an unsuccessful question, which is like I just did, it will lower your sanity by 40% each time. So I'm going to try that again. I do have sanity pills with me, so if I desperately need them, I can use them. So I'm going to try again. Where are you? Here we go. Ah. Now, so I have had that 33%. So that 33% has now lowered my sanity, and it has completely cut off my 5 minutes. So now the ghost is hunting, which is not what we want, but you saw this tail end of it starting to move. So now I'm going to go and check my sanity, because there's nothing the ghost can do while I'm out here. In fact, it's pretty useless while I'm out here. But as you can see, the total activity here is now 10. So now the ghost is not hunting because my flashlight is not flashing anymore. So, yeah, see, look, my sanity is at 44%. So that's not good. My sanity is not good at all. But however, I am going to have to go back in there because I'm going to have to go and take a photo of the Ouija board. Usually if you really want to take a photo of the fact that it's being used and things like that. So I'm going to start from the left here. So these sanity pills, you pick them up, you take them, and I'm not sure how much it restores, but it restores, I think it's half of your sanity each time you take one. The thermometer, like I've said before, if it goes below 10 degrees in a certain room, it could be that that's the ghost room. If it goes below 0 degrees, so it goes into minus, then that's freezing temperatures. With freezing temperatures, you will usually see your own breath. So if you were to move back like that and your breath follows you in front of you, you'll be able to see that. It's quite self-explanatory that. If any of the lights are on, potentially the property will be warmer. So if the ghost likes to turn the switch off, like the switchboard at the bottom of the stairs or at the basement, things like that, then it can potentially make the rooms colder. That does not mean that it's always the ghost room. So we've got the glow stick. The glow stick is very similar to the UV light here. I'll show you both now. So this is the UV light. On a blank wall, you can see that it's got that purple infrared light. That one is really, really good at showing you fingerprints. So the glow stick, if you get close to things, does the same job. If you can see on the wall there, it's gone a bit purple. Does the same job. So I'm going to put that back up there. I've now wasted that. This is the spirit box. The spirit box will answer you. So, well, the majority of the time they'll answer you. Most ghosts will have the evidence type of spirit box. So if you press it, it will come up like this. You press your local talk, which is one of your key bindings in the startup settings, and you ask bog standard questions like, are you here? Are you close? Where are you? Are you friendly? How old are you? If you desperately need to, use the ghost name. So this ghost is called George Smith. If you need to, use his name. It will anger them. It will get them to respond if they desperately can. Try and use that in the ghost room if you find it. I'm actually going to put all the equipment I've used over there so I know what I've done. Yeah, so try and use the equipment in the ghost room so that at least you know where it is and you've got the most chance of it responding. So this one here, this one is an infrared. I think this one's the infrared sensor. So this one you put on the wall. I don't know if I can put it on any of the walls in here, to be honest. No, I don't think I can. So it will come up with like a silhouette of the wall. So you can put it on any of the walls in the property. It will just come up with like a little silhouette in front of you. You can put that on a wall and it will link over to the van. So in here, say I was to put it in the garage, if I was to put it on this wall here, it would light up the entire garage as green. Any bits of wall that it covers, it will light it up as green. After a few minutes, it will go red. If a ghost walks past it or it sees motion, it will go green or red again, depending on what way it's gone. It will come through onto here. It won't come through on any others. It will just come through on the map here. So if I put that one down. This one here is the sound sensor, I believe. So I'm pretty sure this one comes over onto the sound sensor board. Put that on the wall, similar to the infrared sensor, and it will detect any sound or in that particular room. So where it says sensor 1, sensor 2, sensor 3, sensor 4, that will change to the rooms of the property. So that'll be kitchen, lounge, bedroom, child's bedroom. It could be whatever property you're in. It depends on what property. And it will rate every single sound that it makes. If it's continuous, it will stay at say 0.3, and you'll see a little red, kind of like a graph. It will come up slightly. If it's in multiple rooms or you've got 4 in there, they'll all be different, but depending on which room you've put it in. Then we've got... Oh, I don't even know what this one is. To be fair, I don't use these sort of equipment very often. I believe that's some sort of... I think this is a sound sensor. No? I'm not too sure what that one is. I'll have to do a bit more research and figure that one out for you. These ones are the video cameras. So, like I've explained before, these will go very well with the tripods. So you place it on the... Not throw it on the floor. You place it on the tripod. And if the green light is on behind, as you can see the red light's on at the moment, that means it's turned off. This one means that it's turned on. So if I click on this, obviously if I turn off the infrared, it will show that because that's what it's looking at. Alright, then we've got normal torch. So this normal torch, is, I'm going to throw mine down actually. This normal torch is a lot dimmer, as you can tell, than the other torch. This is why every time I play a game I will always pick up a strong torch. So if I throw that one over there, infrared flashlight we've used. So this is the ghost writing book. So you can, as you can see, this is very similar to the silhouette of what the other sensors will show you. This will show you a silhouette of the book. You can throw this down in any room, preferably face up. And so if it's a child, it will prefer you to put the book on the floor. However, if it's an adult, potentially it might not use it unless it's on a table or on a kitchen side, something like that. It depends, but if it's on the floor, then everyone can use it. The majority of ghosts, if they're adult or child, will be able to use it if it's put on the floor in the middle of the room. You will then have to take a photo of that once you've got evidence on it. So when the ghost puts die, can't walk, can't leave, or die or leave, leave or die, stuff like that, or just pictures, then you take a photo of it. That's evidence. So that is one of your evidence for your journal. Then if we go down here, we've got the lighter for the candle, and that was also the lighter for the smudge sticks. So if I put this one down there, so if I pick a lighter up and a smudge stick, so as long as you've got the lighter lit, you can click the use button on your keypad, and you'll see the smoke coming off of the smudge stick, and then once it's finished, it will go brown. That is you using the smudge stick. The smudge stick will deter any ghosts for, depending on what type of ghost it is. So if it's a spirit, it will deter it for 3 minutes. Well, 180 seconds, which I believe is 3 minutes. If it's any other ghost, it will be 90 seconds. So it cannot hunt you. It cannot come anywhere. Well, it can come near you, but it can't injure you. It can't take your sanity, anything like that, for 90 seconds. And obviously with a spirit it can be 180 seconds. So that's a good telltale sign if you're dealing with particular ghosts. So this is the salt. Again, it's got the little silhouette. So just literally place it on the floor like so, and if it goes around with footprints in it, so you'll be able to see the footprints in it, take a photo of it, and that is when your ghost will be walking through the footprints. You can use wherever it's gone, this one. You can use your infrared torch to shine over it, around it. Certain ghosts will have footprints. So if there are footprints in it, then certain ghosts have that. That's a characteristic of certain ghosts. It's not an evidence. You can take photos of it, but it's not evidence, and it doesn't count as fingerprints. Footprints and fingerprints do not count for each and the other. Then we've got the crucifix. The crucifix, like I explained in my last video, as you can see, it's got 3 tips. So the ghost will take the left and the right one first, and then it will take the entire crucifix. This will stop the ghost from hunting, providing it is in either a 2 or 5 meter radius, depending on what ghost you're dealing with. This one is the EMF reader. So like I've explained before, so the EMF reader will always sit on level 1. Doesn't matter if you're in the van, in the property. If you're in the property and it goes to a level 2, it means that the ghost is moving things around in that particular room that you are in. If it goes up to a level 3, which is the yellow mark, that will mean that is the ghost room. So that means that you're pretty bang on the money, you've got the ghost room, and you can carry on putting your equipment in there. If it goes up to a level 4, that means that the ghost is visible to you. That means that it has shown itself, or you can take a photo of it, or it's behind you. Just try looking in the room. It will only show for a very short period of time, usually just enough to get a photo. If it is level 5, which goes up to the red mark, the majority of the time that is purely for evidence based only. You don't need to take a photo of it, but you can log that as your EMF level 5 in your journal. With the parabolic, this is the parabolic sensor. So this will detect, so like you can see, it will detect and it will go up for any sound that is far away. So this will detect sounds far away, and it will basically put them into some sort of level. So this is an 8.6, that's a 0, and it will do things for far away. So if the ghost is in the house and it's creating a lot of noise, this is mainly used in big maps. So for instance, prison, asylum, sometimes the farm maps, not ideally because it's a little bit too small for that. any sort of map, including the high school, that is medium or large map. Use it on that. That means that you've got the best chances of having an accurate reading. And as you move around, so say I was going straight and it's gone up to 24, and if I go left slightly, it will go down slightly, it will go up. If it goes to 0, go back to where you were, where you got that reading, and just follow it. Just follow it, keep going, and then that will be, you can reach the room or reach where the sounds are coming from. The photo camera is very self-explanatory. Tripod is very self-explanatory. So the head-mounted camera works all the time once you've placed it on your head. So I can walk around the room. As you can see, I'm looking around the room and it's placed on my head. So if I turn off the infrared, you can see many cameras and you can see all around the room. So if you have somebody that's in the van constantly, you will then be able to, you can see it. Everyone can then see that camera. You can't take the camera off, I don't believe. So even as much as you can try, you can't take it off. Unless you die, that's the only way that you can disconnect from this little computer here. Behind me is the whiteboard. So before you start the game, this radio up here in this corner, this will basically tell you any information that you would need to know. So it will tell you if it's a violent ghost, it will tell you the circumstances, and the majority of the time it will say these people left in a hurry. If people have left in a hurry, be a bit scared, basically. So this whiteboard, it will always have your objectives, and it will tell you the ghost's name, whether it's an alone or everyone ghost, and kind of what sort of things you need to look out for. So objective 1 will always be discover what type of ghost we're dealing with. So in your journal, which is this book here, you will basically have, at the end, you'll have your evidence. So this will determine what ghost you are dealing with. So once you've finished your investigating and you've got a good idea of what sort of ghost you're looking at, you can input that, close the doors, and that objective will always be complete after you finish the game. Some of these will only complete after you've left the game. So objective 2, prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix. Placing the crucifix into the ghost room anywhere between 2 and 5 meters away from where you think the ghost is going to spawn, or just in the middle of the room, will prevent a hunt. That will then go grey, it will go white, after you have completed that task. It will look like there's nothing there, basically. Objective 3, get a ghost to walk through the salt. If you've found the ghost room, or you want to find the ghost room, or it's wandering somewhere, always put the salt piles not too far apart, but if far apart enough, maybe one in a particular room, the rest in the hallway, and you will be able to track where the ghost is going, because you can see if it's going in a line, if it's going around the corner, if it's only stepping in one particular one. You'll be able to see where it goes. So you can use that to basically track the ghost, and like I said before, you can use that for footsteps, but the footsteps do not count as evidence. So you can take photos, that is always a really good idea. You can gain extra money for gaining like 2-3 star photos. Use that to gain some photos. Objective 4, cleanse the area using smudge sticks. Like I explained before and like I showed you, using a smudge stick like I showed, that if you walk around the room that you believe the ghost to be in and the smoke fills the room, you will then basically have cleansed that area, and the ghost, like I said, will not be able to hunt for 90 seconds or 180 seconds. If you can count down, that's fine. If it hunts before, just after 90 seconds, then you know that you're not dealing with certain ghosts. A spirit will always hunt after 180 seconds. At the bottom here it says, I've done more investigating for you. Looks like the ghost name is George Smith. Make a mental note of that. You might need to use it if the ghost is being a bit shy. You can use his name to basically anger him. This ghost also seems to only respond to people who are alone. If you are in a group of 2 or 3 people, send someone in alone. The person with the highest sanity, send them in alone. See if they get more response. See if they get any sort of evidence. If the ghost shows themselves. If they can go in and place things down themselves, just to see what the ghost will do. You should be able to use his name to anger it and get some paranormal activity. Make sure to refer to your journal and write down any evidence you find. So referring back to the journal, this is all the evidence you can find. It's a side swiping to get any of your particular evidence. If you go back a few pages, you'll get the photos. So as I showed earlier, I took a photo of the bone. So that's a 3-star photo of the bone, because I've got a picture of the actual bone itself. I'm not really sure what constitutes to be in a 3-star or 2-star. I'm assuming it will just be the angle and what you've managed to get in the photo. You have 4, 8. You've got 10 opportunities to get photos. So ideally 2 cameras worth, because every camera has five slots in it. You can leave a camera in the property and then just pick it up every now and again. But yeah, you get five shots each time. The more photos you get, the more money you get at the end. So I'm not gonna complete this one. I'm just gonna show you what happens when you leave. So after you leave, you press the button that you would use to open the doors, and like I said, objective 1 at the bottom it says some objectives only complete when you leave. So you close the doors. Don't worry, you're not going to lose any of your items, anything like that. You close the doors and you go back to this loading screen. So I didn't put anything in for what the ghost would be. I didn't complete any of the objectives. I got photos, so I got 1 photo of the ghost, of the bone, and the bone evidence. The fact that I actually got the bone itself, I got $10 for. I didn't get any insurance money, I didn't get any of the objectives, and the photos, I got 1 3-star photo and 1 normal photo, so I got $15. The total times the difficulty, which being amateur isn't a lot, I don't think you get much of an extra if you do amateur, and you get a total of $25. So this time the ghost was a hand-to. I didn't do any evidence finding, so I wouldn't have even been able to decide that. So you go onto a screen that you get what experience you've gained, and then you get the statistics. So how much you were in the light, how much you were in the dark, total time in the ghost room, total time inside the actual property, total time investigating is 20 minutes, the amount of ghost events that you've either seen or missed. The amount of ghost hunts was 1, because as you saw when I used the Ouija board, 33% of the time it completely cut out my 5 minutes. And the amount of ghost interactions you have, there was 55, so it was a very, very active hand-to. So if I click resume, you go back to the server lobby. When you go to you're selecting your jobs, I'm just going to click high school for now, I'm not actually going to do it. When you go onto amateur, intermediate and professional, you don't always get those immediately. You have to go up certain levels in order to get different difficulties. I'm pretty sure it's something like 7 or 10 levels to get intermediate, and a bit higher than 10 just to get professional. So you do have to work quite hard to get each level. I'm going to leave it there, everyone. I think I've gone through everything that I need to go through. I'll leave it there, and I will see you again soon for some more Phas.